Chapter 5 Bitcoin Gold 2.0. Bitcoin is a snippet of code representing ownership of a digital concept. Its main feature is that it doesn't have a central regulating body where payments pass through. It's also not controlled by any government and thus can be used for transactions across borders. For a commodity to be used as currency, there are some major characteristics that it must have, and these are stability, reliability, general acceptability, durability, long history of acceptance, and are inherently valuable. These are the characteristics that we are going to compare the Bitcoin and gold against to see if Bitcoin has the capability of substituting gold as the go-to currency in terms of crisis. In terms of stability, gold has been around for more than 3,000 years and has been used as the store of wealth, with its value remaining ever high over that period. On the other hand, the value of bitcoins in the market has kept fluctuating, and this does not inspire confidence for a commodity that's supposedly on its way to becoming the world's future currency. In the past few months, the value of bitcoins has gone up by up to 49% before succumbing to recent turbulence. The change in its value has been mostly upwards, but such inconsistencies make the Bitcoin's stability low, offering investors little guarantee of the security of their investments. The changes in the exchange rates between major currencies are usually low and rarely over 5% within a month, which is clearly not the case with the Bitcoins. When we check on reliability, Bitcoins rely on the internet, and any crackdown by a foreign government can hugely affect the business and lead to losses. This is not the case with gold, which is not dependent on the internet and is not affected by the technological disruptions. It has withstood the test of time over the years, and it's highly probable that 100 years down the line, its supply will still be there and it will still be valuable. For any transaction to take place, we must have a willing buyer and seller, and this means that the Bitcoin still has a long way to go, since many people and organizations still don't use Bitcoins as currency. This is mainly because they are new and lack a long history of acceptance. Many countries are still getting used to the idea, and very few big institutions comfortably use Bitcoins for their transactions and business dealings. Other countries like France have an issue with the digital currency because of the lack of identity of the parties conducting the transactions, which is against their laws. This also brings to the fore the issue of legality of the Bitcoin system. We have countries like Japan which view Bitcoin positively, but most of the countries are wary of the dangers posed through the system and have put in place measures to ensure safe transactions. Other countries like Israel are seeking introduction of tax on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also legal in countries like the US, Canada, Australia, while others like the UK and Switzerland plan to advance regulatory framework favoring cryptocurrency. The lack of general acceptability, at least for now, means that the chances of Bitcoin being adopted as the world's currency become even less. Transactions made on Bitcoin are slow and therefore inconvenient as a means of currency. This is because there is a limit on the number of transactions to be conducted per day, and the identity of the transacting parties has to be concealed, which ultimately means that a simple transaction may take days to complete. This is another barrier that stands in the way of Bitcoin. Another distinct difference between the cryptocurrencies and gold is that unlike the cryptocurrencies, gold has its own value, while Bitcoin is only as much as people are willing to pay. This makes Bitcoins more suited for short-term investment where people buy expecting its value to rise in the future. Bitcoins are therefore not viewed so much as long-term investments as is the case with gold and other precious metals, and therefore cannot serve in the long term due to the high risk involved as compared to the significantly lower risk of gold and other precious metals. Despite Bitcoin's higher utility in this technological era, gold still retains the upper hand over the long haul, and this is mainly due to the high risk that comes with the Bitcoins. A lack of stability and reliability coupled with the lack of widespread acceptability doom the Bitcoin in this competition. Bitcoin still has some ground to cover in convincing people that it can be trusted, yet past history involving other big busts like the Dutch tulips, NASDAQ, and Japanese real estate suggests that we will only have one winner in the long term: gold.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.